I don't get it.
Podcast.
Hello, everyone. It's Lauren.
It's Ashley.
It's Naz.
Wow, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in this week. It means so much to us. You know, we want to start off the show with a big thank you because it's been so many goddamn episodes, and you guys are sticking around, and we love you for it.
We love you guys so much. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for sharing, and just supporting all the content we put out into the world. I want to bulge my eyes out as I say things like that.
I know it's so bad, but we truly mean it.
I'm like semi saying it in a way where I'm like making fun of myself.
Yeah.
Why is the term content so annoying?
Because everything is content. It's like saying matter. It's like saying air is content. And everything is content.
Content creator. When people like call themselves content creator, it's like literally you taking a shower can be content.
Yeah.
So
Have you watched Bo Burnham Inside?
I haven't.
Lauren, I am so shocked you haven't seen this. There's a song on there called 30 because he turns 30 in the pandemic, which is literally me.
Literally us.
He's literally us. He was born in 1990, and he talks about everyone just please go listen to that song. It's available on Spotify. And he's just like, I'm fucking 30. He's like, and all my friends are having stupid children.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it is.
Oh, I guess you have a couple friends who have children.
Not really.
You don't, Lauren? I have friends who have children.
I don't have any friends with kids, actually.
Wow, interesting. Anyways, watch 30. I love Bo Burnham.
I can name a few friends of yours who have.
Okay, sorry if I'm forgetting.
Lauren, your face. Anyways, all right. So do you guys have any I don't get it?
So I hate to be this again, but there is this guy on TikTok. There's this guy on TikTok with his friend. They basically have a podcast, but they have some really good I don't get it. I don't know what their podcast is called, but it's a whole bunch of everyday questions, but they're different for like everyone else. So this one is that I was going to ask you guys is, what order do you get dressed getting out of the shower? Like, what do you put on?
I never put clothes on right out of the shower. I always walk around in a robe or a towel for a little while. Do you get dressed immediately?
Yes, immediately.
Really?
Yes. I
What's
bring my
your
clothes
order,
into
Lauren?
the shower.
You bring your clothes into the bathroom?
Yeah.
So I do too. I set it on the toilet.
I
have my little outfit ready, like I'm a little 3-year-old.
Because you don't
want to
be wandering around catching your own body in any mirror,
Stop.
So you want to get dressed right away.
Lauren, we are confident.
Okay.
Lauren, that's weird. Your body is insanely amazing.
Okay.
You're gonna look
Everyone's
back on
Everyone's body is insanely amazing.
Okay, so I bring my clothes into the bathroom because I don't want to run around naked. All right, so honestly, sometimes I do socks first. Socks,
What? Naked with the socks first?
Underwear, pants, shirt.
That's bizarre. I do underwear, long sleeve shirt, socks, no pants. No pantalones en mi casa.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
If I can bear. But what I do, which is so funny, it's terrible. I have so many windows in my apartment. And sometimes when I forget to put my little outfit together on the toilet,
Yeah.
like a mom would do for a 3-year-old, I walk out in my towel and then I have a really big, incredible, and this is like not a sponsored thing, but it's like a Brooklinen towel, and the towel's so like big and incredible. And sometimes I don't feel like carrying it anymore. So then I'm like, when you're holding it up with your hand, like looking through the drawer for like
that's
underwear.
what I try to avoid.
Yeah, sometimes I just drop it. I'm like, oh, I don't want to hold this. And then I'm just naked and the windows are open.
Well, I'm sure
And
your
I
neighbors
feel
love
like
it.
I feel like Tommy Pickles in the Rugrats. I'm just like walking around in my undies.
Yeah.
I don't think. I don't understand why. I never feel sexy without a bra.
That's so weird to me.
I never feel. I think we must have talked about this before.
You don't like your boobs, or you think they're a little
I don't mind
girly.
them. I just
Actually,
feel like,
it's so weird. Your boobs are
I feel like a little
incredible.
girl when I walk around without a bra on.
I'm
That's
so anti-bra.
The exact opposite of what you should feel. You have breasts. You're not a little girl.
Yeah, but they still like look down at them and they still look like breast buds.
Breast buds. What
Once-
does that
Oh my
even
God,
mean?
Lauren has to tell the story of the breast buds. Oh
What's
my
the
God.
breast bud
Okay,
story?
so when you're like going through puberty, do you remember this? You develop like the hard little balls kind tissue in your boob area. It's tender.
Are you talking about on the areola?
Like
It's like
sort of,
kinda.
almost, kind of. But like when you're prepubescent, like that's when it starts to really hurt. Like whenever anybody whenever you touch like that
Right.
area, it's like,
Yes.
oh no, ow!
Or you
ooh,
got hit
no.
by a ball
Yeah, get
there,
hit
it
by
would
a
hurt
ball.
really
Yes.
bad.
Yeah,
Yeah,
kickball to the breast, the worst.
Yes. So
Yes.
when I was going through puberty, I think it was this 4th grade or something.
Yeah, you actually maybe earlier, which is why mom was a little bit weirded out. But also, mom should have known. Wow.
Yeah, I know. It's so weird. Anyway, so I was like, my boobs hurts. I didn't say boobs. I was like, this part hurts so bad. It hurts so bad. So it wasn't much of a story, although mom was freaked out and brought me to the pediatrician because my breast buds hurt too much.
She called them your breast buds.
Yeah.
No, she didn't call them her breast buds. The pediatrician called them her breast buds. And my
Aw.
mom was like, "Oh, I guess she's developing early because she was like you were like maybe 7."
No way.
Yeah. And I remember I was like, okay, so if you were 7, I was 10. So I like actually was having breast buds. And I was like, this bitch, she doesn't know. I know it's exactly going on with her, but I'm not saying it.
Ashley,
She also
what a
did-
big sister.
She was not great with the puberty help because I was amazed that she started wearing a bra. And I was like, oh, let me see. You're wearing a bra. And she like was so fucking private about it and didn't show me or anything. Was all embarrassed. I'm like, you should have been helping me.
I was embarrassed by bras. I hated them. I wore sports bras for the longest time because I wanted to felt so uncomfortable.
Why were you embarrassed by them, you think?
I feel like I was like a little bit early in it all. Maybe
Like you were the only one in your friend group wearing them, maybe?
Yeah. Like there were other girls that were wearing sports bras and stuff, but they were like the popular girls. And I was like, oh man, I'm like the only one of the normal girls wearing something.
Oh, the normal girls.
Anyway, how did we get on breast buds? How the fuck did that happen? Oh, because you felt like a little girl walking around.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but now...
You're telling me you feel sexier walking around without a bra than you feel like with a bra?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
100%.
1,000%. What do you mean? You need the Carrie Bradshaw, the nips coming through the shirt.
Yes.
Free the-
100%
Free
sexier.
the nip, Ashley. No, I'm just kidding. Do whatever you want.
I like to have my nice round, okay, so it's because my nipples are pointy. So like I like a nice round boob. And that's what my boobs look like in a bra.
That's so weird. I wish I love that pointiness. But
I don't
to
like
each
bras
his
'cause
own.
they squeeze like your back and like your arms.
I don't like bras because they're uncomfortable as fuck. What do you mean? Bras are literally, it's
I
like
don't think bras
being
are
strapped
uncomfortable.
to something. My mother would love you. She thinks I should sleep in bras.
My mom
because she
sleeps in
thinks
her
mine
bra.
are going to sag. And I'm like, is
Exactly.
that a myth or
It's
is
not
that
a myth,
real?
It's true, but
How? I don't get it. I don't get
the
it.
skin's not pulling down.
Oh, that makes
The
sense.
gravity. Yeah.
That makes
Anyway,
sense.
so
I
that
was told recently by a woman
Okay.
doing my nails that she sleeps with no pillow because of the lines on her neck.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And she's like, you actually don't need a pillow. And I could never imagine sleeping without a pillow. That just
'Cause it
seems
does
so
kinda bend
barbaric to me. But yeah, she said it's like the lines in your neck. Like it's
Yeah.
sort of.
That makes sense.
What do you sleep on your back or
Interesting.
your stomach? Or is your side?
Well, the best is to sleep on my back. But I sleep.
Yeah,
I sleep on my side and then I turn in the middle of the night. And did you guys know, fun fact, do you know why you turn in the middle of the night to the other side?
To be cool
To breathe better. And it's so true. When
on the side.
Someone told me that. So everyone listening, when you're sleeping, when you wake up in the middle of the night and you turn to the other side, notice how much better you can breathe. I think it's because your body wants to breathe better. It's so interesting.
Yeah, that makes
Is one of your lungs being crushed by that side? So then you have to turn over to the other side?
I don't know. You're the doctor in this family. You don't know
Yeah,
nothing.
I just know that if you sleep on your back, that's when you snore.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know
sleeping-
that. I don't snore. Neither
Neither do I. But sleeping on your back is obviously like overall best for your spine and like for wrinkles and all that.
Yeah.
But I find I keep trying to get in the habit of sleeping on my back, but then every night I of course go over to one side in total retaliation, just being like,
Same.
no,
I know.
must go to the side.
I know.
And then this week I crushed my right shoulder because I've been sleeping on it so hard. And that's that one time. Do you remember when Lauren went to the ER and couldn't figure out what the hell was going on with her body?
Yeah, was it you were just crushing your shoulder?
I tore my rotator cuff in the middle of the night by sleeping too hard.
You were sleeping on my couch.
Wild.
That's why. Because remember, you were sleeping on the couch every night.
I remember. Good days. Good days.
Good days.
Good days. I love those days.
Ashley, when I think of cruises and vacations, I literally think of you and your family.
I love anything cruise related. I mean, this is so dark, but this week I found a documentary on Discovery Plus about that cruise ship that sunk in the Mediterranean.
Oh my God.
A couple, a decade ago.
Yeah.
But I'm so fascinated by anything that's cruise related.
It's because of Titanic, maybe.
It is, I guess, but that's not even, yeah.
But
I don't know.
You know what's
I
funny?
romanticize it so much. I had such great times.
You do. But the reason why I think of you, is for the all-inclusiveness aspect of buffets and stuff. And I
love buffets. Oh, they're creamy. They're creamy. Scrambled eggs on a cruise. Royal Caribbean does their scrambled eggs so good. It's like how you do it on the stove when you mix really slowly.
Yeah.
And when you add butter and you add a little
scramble.
cheese and
it's called soft scramble.
It's called soft scramble, and it's so slow and it takes you you're standing there for 15 minutes and you literally have 2 bites afterward.
I don't eat eggs, so I can't relate, but I'm sure
okay.
it's your dream. But
it's so good. Okay.
But for all of you guys out there that love all-inclusive stuff, love beaches, and just love the Caribbean, there's this website called cheapcaribbean.com. They've been around for over 20 years, and they literally are in the business of providing the best all-inclusive beach vacations.
All-inclusive beach vacation means that it's all you can eat. So all food, alcohol, and non-alcoholic beverages, they're included as well, as is the beach and night activities when you book at cheapcaribbean.com. All-inclusive means you get more food, you get more drinks, and you get more fun.
And they have no change fees. So when you book at Cheap Caribbean Resort, you can add trip protection so you can actually book with confidence. So you have less money, less worry, more beach, what we have all been craving after this crazy year we've had. So guys, be sure to check out either a Dreams or Secrets Resort when you book with Cheap Caribbean. Right?
Oh, Jared and I stayed at Secrets in Cancun. It was really nice.
Oh, no, well, guys,
we loved it.
Hop on this now because right now you can get $100 off your next beach vacay when you visit cheapcaribbean.com/IDGI-podcast. So it's IDGI-podcast, stands for I Don't Get It Podcast. And we will see you guys on the beach. All right. Well, I love that all of that came out of how do you get dressed out of the shower.
I know how to get dressed out of the shower.
I didn't even tell you though. Okay, so I agree with Lauren.
You said you walk around in a robe.
I do. But then when I actually get dressed, I guess I put underwear on, and then if I'm wearing stickies or a bra, and then I put the pants on, and then I put a shirt on. But I put the socks on before I put the pants on, like Lauren, because it goes up easier and you don't get your toesies stuck in the jeans.
I love that. And we also need to talk about, I don't know if anyone else experiences this. I don't know if it's because I'm old or my hamstrings are so tight and I'm not flexible at all. I've never been able to touch my toes. But I also hate bending over, whether it's to tie my shoes or anything that goes on down there. I'm like, ugh. Does anyone else?
I understand that,
way?
Especially if your hair or makeup is done, you don't want to bend over.
Oh my God. And putting jeans on, no, thank you. I agree. You have to put socks on before jeans.
Yeah.
Yes.
But leggings, you put your leggings on and then your socks because
No.
you gotta put
Yes.
your tube
What
socks
do you
over
mean?
because you have to wear the tube
Exactly.
socks.
That's because I don't wear tube socks because I wear the half socks.
Oh,
How do you wear
God.
half socks? Your ankles get cold. I'm so confused.
No, my ankles get
what is the
cold.
point?
My circulation gets cut off by those tube socks.
That's a lie, Ashley.
No, it's
Akinetti.
not.
It does not.
I get
cut
so-
off.
Yes, it
Then why
does.
would every senior citizen in America wear tube socks?
I don't know, but then I take them off and I have all these indents on my legs.
Now let me ask you this: Why
you don't have indents on your legs?
No. Well, I mean, a little, like normal.
That's
but
more
it's not
from
like
the leggings.
squeezing.
That's not from the socks. It's from the leggings, not the socks. My socks, you can get very loose fitting tube socks. Okay.
Yes, exactly.
Now, why are compression socks
I don't get
good for circulation?
Remember,
Oh, I
Naz
love it.
got them for me?
I got them for Ashley. I am a massive advocate of compression.
I have worn them. They're interesting. I don't understand. My friend is just having she was having an issue with her circulation. Her feet were getting really, really puffy, her ankles, and they like gave her prescription compression socks. And
Oh.
ever since, she's been fine.
I want those.
I don't get it. It's something about
You
like
would think
opening.
it would take away
I
the
know.
blood from your feet.
Hold on,
it's
I'm
the
gonna look
way-
it up.
Well, okay, Ashley, look it up. But I will say I gifted them to Ashley because when I had a nutritionist for a year, she told me to get them because I was like, yo, help me with inflammation.
Yeah.
And so I was flying a lot before the pandemic. And she was like, and she used to be a bodybuilder. So she's like, I wear compression socks on the airplane because we all know when we go up there, it's like bloatcity.com.
Yeah.
And so I noticed that it would help the blood move in my legs and my ankle because you're sitting for 6 hours at a time. That's not normal. That's not good. And I think it's the ridges in the socks, you know what I mean? That like force the blood to flow. Do you know what I mean?
Maybe.
Because there's a pattern on it and they're knee high.
Yeah,
The
that
ones
makes
I
sense.
have at least. Yeah.
But do your feet get cold when you fly or hot?
oh my God, freezing.
Freezing. Thank you.
Freezing.
Okay, I want that is
Freezing.
freezing. I hate it.
I hate it.
I
You know what
hate it.
when you get on a plane and they haven't turned the air on yet, and you're just like in this humid tube, and you're
Humid
like, turn the air on, and then they turn it on, and you're like, Miss, it's too cold.
I
in
know.
here."
They're like, don't worry, we got you. It's freezing. Another plane, I don't get it. So goddamn cold.
Okay,
We
guys.
always have so
I
many
think
of
it
those.
works for people who have like vein problems. So it's like varicose veins need the compression to kind of shrink a little bit and to make a more cylinder shape instead of a wider shape that has like some bulges.
Well, that
So
doesn't
that
answer
makes
how
sense.
it does it.
No. It brings the blood moves smoother through a very clean cylinder-like vein versus a bulged vein. Do you see that, Lauren?
I see it. It's a
Okay.
visual.
All right.
I get it.
Okay.
Wow. I'm sure everyone's so riveted by this.
I
sock
know, right?
conversation.
Jesus Christ.
Look at the content that we are creating.
Okay. On
This
another
is-
topic,
If I
we
was
are
listening,
done.
I would have ducked out 10 minutes ago.
Shit. I'm so sorry,
Shit,
guys. I'm
damn.
so sorry.
We need
Now-
to edit ourselves better.
Oh,
that was
I'm
too long.
so sorry. Why did we do that? I just wanted to know how you put your clothes on out of the shower. Okay. Does anyone
What's
have
your next
very
one?
good I don't get it top that will help us through this fucking compression sock ordeal, okay?
Why, Lauren? Your next one sucks.
Lord, I agree. You guys, I agree that got a little lame there for a second, but truly, I don't get compression socks, and I'm glad that we brought it up because we've never brought it up before, and I truly don't get them.
I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed.
So I don't know if we've ever actually discussed this on the podcast. It's a pretty people have discussed it many times before, but I don't really know your take on it, and I don't really honestly know my take on it. But what are your thoughts on a guy you're talking to, a significant other, husband, whatever, liking another girl's like bikini photo? Do we think it's very disrespectful, or do we think like it's gonna happen? They're gonna look at girls. Well, like, what do you think?
Oh, this one's so hard because it's easy to say, oh my God, like a guy should not be liking any girl's photos. Like if he's with you, he's happy. But then the realistic side of me is like, people are human, you know, like they
yeah.
can appreciate, like if you were at a beach and they were looking at a woman in a bikini, it's kind of similar to like liking something. Do likes mean anything? And then I'm with you, Lauren. I don't know how I feel about it. One, because I think I would need to live through the experience to know how I would actually react. But I would want to look in the mirror and be like, why am I so insecure? Like, am I with someone that makes me feel safe? Is it me or is it them? Do you know what I mean?
It's a fine line. I don't know how I feel about it either. Although I do... Jack used to like girls in bikinis all the time on Instagram. I know this. I wasn't necessarily bothered by it, but obviously if you left a comment, that's very different. You know?
Is it different?
Is it different though?
Oh,
Yes, a comment is so different.
Well, it depends what the comment is. If it's like, Sally, you're looking
sign?
great.
It depends on who like the relationship is. Obviously, if it's like a friend of yours, like if it was Maddie or something. Like, I mean, sorry, specific example, but like if it was a friend that he hangs out with you and he says like looking good, that's totally different than if it's a girl you've never met. So it's circumstantial. I don't really also know how I feel about this.
I feel like I would hate it in
actually
any
I think it all
scenario.
comes down to like, has the guy introduced you to this girl in the bikini? Kind of.
I
think it would be weird if, I don't know, because like I will like shirtless pictures of like some of Jared and our guy friends that like we know, like he knows them as well.
Oh, there
So,
you go.
like,
Double standard.
Right? No.
Right.
It's like, this is like such a specific example, but like I'm just thinking who like takes modelly pictures. Yeah. So it's like Peter Krause. Like all like Peter Krause is like modelly pictures.
Right.
But, and I don't think that would annoy Jared because like he knows he's met him.
I guess is it matter if they like have a massive following and they're an influencer like a Peter Krause and this girl, it's like people follow her for that reason, or is it this random girl that you think they've met before? I have a question. If I posted a picture in a bikini and Jared and Hunter commented, would that bother you guys?
No, that's what I'm saying. Like as a friend of the group, the collective friend, that's fine.
God, I wish I had this experience because I think if I was with a guy, I don't know. I guess if he commented on one of your guys' pictures with the bikini, I don't know, would that bother me? Would that bother me?
Jared has 1000% liked your provocative pictures.
First of all, my provocative pictures are few and far between.
Yeah.
They exist though.
But I'm not someone who presents. I mean, actually, I don't even know. What does provocative mean anyway? It's like you can do whatever the fuck you want with your body, you know? Like, what is... I don't know. This is a hard one.
I know it's a hard one.
It's a hard one.
I think it's just basically what we've discussed is situational, who it is, because it's not a broad... I mean, I'm sure lots of girls out there are like, no, you don't like girls in bikinis. You don't like girls in lingerie. That makes me feel this way. But... if it's a certain person, you know, like if you're threatened by a specific girl, you don't know the relationship, then you obviously don't want it.
But also, if you feel threatened, you should ask yourself why you feel threatened.
Exactly.
You know, is this something that you're making up in your head? Like, is it actually a thing or is it not a thing?
Yeah.
Liking anyone's, because in my head, liking anyone's picture, like to me, Instagram isn't really real.
Yeah.
But then I can't go by those standards because to a lot of other people, Instagram is life. It's their validation. It's
also
real to
not
them.
that, but Instagram has ruined probably many relationships with like sliding into DMs and one comment goes to a DM and a DM goes to a relationship. So
right. But if you're with someone that's going to do that, it's like goodbye.
Exactly.
Right? Like
yes,
that's not right for you anyway.
Do you guys ever need to wind down after a long Zoom call, after having tons of clients? You don't feel like talking to anyone. You don't really feel like starting a whole new show, but you
don't even want to do anything with your fiance, right? Lauren?
You don't even want to touch your fiance. You just
cannot relate to that, but okay.
I'm sure many of you out there can relate to that. You just want to draw a bath, lay in there, and listen to Dipsy.
Tell him to go play golf.
Go play golf for 7-10 hours because you have Dipsy. You have this audio app that is full of short, sexy stories designed to turn you on.
And do they turn me on, guys? Listen, for all you single ladies out there, aka moi, this is a godsend because I'm such a mental person. And so listening to these stories is such a great, fun way to get turned on because each story features characters and they're real people. Well, they feel like real people anyway. And they put you in these immersive scenarios. So you just feel like you're right there. And you can find stories that are literally off limits, like hooking up with your professor, going to like a costume party, even like a story where your partner tells you exactly what to do or you try a new toy together. I mean, listen, I don't have a boyfriend, but I have Dipsy, and that is all I need.
And for our listeners, Dipsy is offering a 30-day free trial when you go to dipsystories.com/getit. That is DIPSEA stories.com/getit. 30-day trial when you go to dipsystories.com/getit. DIPSEA stories.com/getit.
Okay, so I have something hypocritical to say. I don't want Jared following his exes or people he's dated, because ex I feel like is a strong word, especially for he and I, who like literally, well, I have like, you know, how many official exes do I have, right? But like people we've dated, and I don't want him following those people, but like I still follow mine. But that's because, okay, this is like, maybe it's double standardy, but like I still think that guys look at the ex-girlfriends more in a sexual way, and it's like, well, especially because like I'm thinking about certain people that like he dated or dated also is again like strong word, but these people like and how they present themselves on Instagram versus like how the person or so that I follow presents themselves on Instagram. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
well,
like,
that's what we were saying 5 minutes ago. It's like, how do you present yourself? Is it someone that's an influencer and posts this stuff all the time? Or is it someone, you know, that's posting a random one? I don't know. It's
because
so
I'm just truly interested in like where like this person's life is and like how their family is growing or like just like what they're into these days. Like, I'm just curious about their life. I'm not at all thinking of them like sexually or like wanting to see what their body looks like. Well, I guess like I want to see how they're aging.
Well, but Ashley, this is a good, I wanted to ask you because I don't know if I can ask Lauren this question. I wonder if it's because you and I we don't have a LinkedIn like resume Rolodex of past serious relationships. You and I do not have that. Lauren has that. So is that why we would most likely not like that? And it seems hypocritical because it's like we don't even have that. Do you know what I mean? You have like one or two. I have like I mean, I guess I have a couple, but like, do you know what I mean? When it comes to exes.
Yeah, but I don't really think, I don't really know if it makes a difference as far as like the curiosity goes. Because again, I don't want him following them because I don't want him looking at their body. But like, I don't know if he cares about me just being curious about where their life is now.
Well, if that's your version of him looking at a body, then yeah,
I know. I'm specifically thinking about this one bitch. Okay.
Whoa.
No, this one that I'm just specifically thinking of that like, because if he followed his ex-girlfriend, like I don't really know that I care about that. Because like, again, I think it has to do with depth and not sexuality. I think like if it has to do with like you caring about the person, that's fine. But if it has to do with just the physical, that's where it's not cool.
There's a little caveat here that we're not mentioning, which
What's
I think is also very determinant on how you would feel. Is your ex in a relationship or is your ex single? If they're, I bet you if they're following an ex that is now with a husband or boyfriend and posting pictures of them, you're not going to care as much. Yeah. You're like, this person is taken care, is spoken for. But if they're single, does that change it?
For me, it does. Yeah. If you're following them and they are in a relationship, go on and like that bitch's picture. And I'm sorry we say bitch. It's a loving, endearing term.
You guys are hilarious.
I'm
interesting.
Okay. Yeah. Don't overthink the term bitch. You guys use it in casual conversation too.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, good.
I have an I don't get it.
Do it.
So mine's So I went home for 4th of July, and I had so much fun.
Oh yeah, you went home and you didn't tell us.
Yeah, I went home last minute.
No,
and I will tell you. I'll tell you why. For some reason, what I find really, which is I don't get it to me, is major cities like New York and Los Angeles. And I'm not talking about like the beach side of LA. I'm talking about like the city of LA. Nothing's going on 4th of July in those cities. No. And it's like so interesting, right? Because like when people come to visit America, they go to New York and LA.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of interesting. So there's never anything going down 4th of July in LA, really, unless you go to like Hermosa or Manhattan Beach or whatever. Like even Santa Monica Beach did not even have fireworks. So I decided to go home last minute. And what I realized about my group of friends from home, and of course, this makes sense because it's like we've all been friends. Some people have known each other since high school. Some people have been friends since college. What I noticed when I came back to LA, and this all leads into the funk that you guys know I've been having in LA recently, is that I realized that no one makes plans in Los Angeles.
Nobody wants to commit to even plans. That's the problem.
No one makes plans in Los Angeles. And I was like, why am I having so much fun at home? And I'm like, because my group of friends at home are like, we're going to do this tomorrow. We're going to barbecue at this person's. Even when I visited you guys in Virginia or Rhode Island, even if it's not leaving the house, you guys have a plan. Tonight, we're going to go to KFC. We're going to sit down and we're going to watch this true crime documentary. Yeah. Like that is a plan.
Yeah.
In LA, nobody makes plans.
Continue.
No, go ahead.
I think it's because everyone's waiting for the best thing.
Yes.
So they're not committing to their friends if P. Diddy is having a party. I don't know why I said P. Diddy like it's goddamn 2000. I don't know why I said P. Diddy. I'm like it's 2000. If Jake Paul is going to have a party.
But what I'm saying, but what's interesting
all
about
the same problem. It's
what's
all,
interesting
like,
about
with dating and socializing.
What's interesting about what you just said, Lauren, is that that's kind of not the case in my age bracket, right? Because I'm 31 now, so my friends aren't even doing that anymore. Yeah. So I get in LA's a bigger city, it's spread out. So what I do like about LA is you have to be very intentional. It's not like New York where if you live in Brooklyn, you can just hop on the subway and meet someone in the West Village, be like, oh yeah, let's like go get dinner. In LA, you sort of have to be like, okay, Saturday, this is what we're doing.
Saturday, I'm driving an hour to get to you, and we're doing all this.
Right.
Yeah.
And something I've been experiencing lately that I think may be relatable to people that are single is if you live in if you live anywhere and you're single, I kind of have been realizing lately that like when I hang out with people, it's because like I made the plan. And it's kind of hurtful, not in a way where you guys know I'm not like at home crying or anything over it. Like it is what it is. But I'm realizing because my friends are in this transition period of like now getting engaged or like they have a partner and when you have a partner, you don't even have to make a plan for 4th of July because you can be like, oh, so-and-so and I are staying in tonight. That is your plan. If you live at home by yourself, you're sitting at home and you're like, what am I going to do on 4th of July? And so then you have to reach out to people and see what they're doing. And so it's just, I'm in like this interesting time of life where I think I like wonder if I didn't like reach out. And granted, I have friends that do ask me to like go on hikes and walks every now and then. But I think like if I want to get dinner or like go to an event or go to a movie, like I have to make that plan. And I noticed when you guys lived here, Ashley, you would get invited to events, but you guys would also be like, let's all go see this movie at the Grove, you know?
Yeah, Naz, to make you feel better, I feel like I've always been that friend too. Like not with you, where it's definitely more equal, but in general, I'd say like 80% of my friend hangs were orchestrated by me too. I just think that there are those people who do and those people who don't.
Yeah. And I don't think it's
like,
a
look at Lauren.
Thing.
Lauren would never freaking ask anybody to hang out.
That's so true.
Sorry. I don't know. So maybe all of your your friends that did used to make plans are now in a relationship where they're just making plans with their partner.
Yeah, but you wouldn't make plans even if you were single. Not that you've ever been single.
That's so funny.
That is very funny, Ashley.
Lauren. I don't know. It's not a bad thing. Like I just want to say all my friends are fucking incredible. Like A+. Like I have an A+ roster of supportive, amazing friends. It's just exactly what you're saying, Ashley. There's some people that like want to bring people together and some people that don't. And I wish I had like a house, because if I had a house, I would always invite people over. But I don't have that. I have like a little room, you know.
You would be the hoster inviting all of the people. Yeah.
Gosh. So interesting. So I don't know about you guys, but now that we're coming out of like this crazy year that we've just had, I feel, and I've talked about this obviously before on the podcast, like being in a funk, but I've realizing that there's a lot of people in my life that also feel this way. And I don't know if just a lot of people are dealing with like an overwhelming sense of anxiety or depression because it's hard to navigate now that the world's like open again, like social settings or like who you are, or even if you like going to work, if you want to go back into work. I feel like we're just all living through an emotionally complicated time to navigate. So if you resonate with what I just said, you should definitely check out BetterHelp. It's this website that is committed to facilitating great therapeutic matches. So if you've never done therapy, I think this is a really good way to ease into it because you don't have to show up in person. It's very affordable and financial aid is available, which is what I love about it. And they're available for clients worldwide. So no matter where you're listening from, you can access BetterHelp.
And these therapists have a broad range of expertise, which may not be locally available to you where you live. So some of the things that they deal with are depression, stress, anxiety, relationships, sleeping, trauma, anger, family matters, LGBT matters, grief, self-esteem, and everything is confidential. It's really convenient. Like Naz says, it's affordable and it's completely professional.
In fact, so many people have been using BetterHelp that they are recruiting additional counselors in all 50 states. And we want you to start living a happier life today. So as a listener, you'll get 10% off your first month by visiting BetterHelp.com/getit. Join over 1 million people taking charge of their mental health. Again, that's BetterHelp, HELP.com/getit.
Anyway, so I've been learning that about myself. And then I don't know if this is like an I don't get it, but I am doing a lot better like 3 months out, like from the breakup. And I've been trying to just say yes to things and like be in this season of like saying yes.
Very good.
So recently an opportunity came up where I was talking to a guy and he doesn't live in LA. We were talking on the phone. Long story short, he ends up flying out here and we end up going to Ojai together for 2 nights, like as our first date, basically.
Which we all told Naz was very dangerous. Just letting you guys know we were responsible friends.
First of all, I vetted this person. I shared my location with this person. But like I'm someone
you shared your location with friends in the area, so if they had to come get you.
Exactly. I felt safe. I did not feel weird. Honestly, I was really proud of myself because it was something out of my comfort zone. I've been over LA. So in my head, I was like, if someone's willing to like sort of come here and like hang out with me, like why not explore this opportunity and also like just not get out of LA for 2 days? Like, why would I not do that? So I go, we have a really good time. Nothing bad to say about this person at all. So much fun. But I learned so much about myself coming out of like that experience where a part of me was doing it to like move forward, you know, because I think we tend to look in the rear view mirror a lot, especially when we like date someone and like this was a significant relationship for me. So I was really proud of myself. I think it really like helped me move forward in a way and just like see what else is out there. But I think I'm realizing, and I've done like I did a psychoanalysis with my therapist where I think I keep coming across guys that are emotionally unavailable. And I'm not saying that this guy from that weekend was that. I'm just saying coming out of this experience, it just made me think and explore and like want to look in the mirror more. And I was like, okay, what is like this pattern that I'm like attracting? And through my psychoanalysis, I've learned that like I have this deep need to feel like understood and known. And I think my parents were really unpredictable, like emotionally growing up. And so I think when I meet a guy that's emotionally unavailable, it's a very familiar feeling for me. And I'm like, oh, I can like work with this, you know, like this feels familiar to me. I can work with this, and this person's going to be different. And then I also go into situations where I think I decide already if this person's going to be my person or not. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you guys have ever done that, where I'm like, I don't know, this person said this in conversation, so they're not my person. And then when I'm hanging out with them, I think this like very like pushy sort of energy comes out of me. I don't know if it's like pushy, but it's like this anxious energy, right? Where I have already decided this isn't my person, but then when I'm with them, I'm sort of like craving, like I just told you guys.
You're trying to make sure they think you are their person, kind of.
Yes. And so much of it is like, I mean, of course, there's so much ego involved in like anything when it comes to dating. But I think what I'm learning about myself is like, I obviously am craving like deep, intimate, meaningful things. And so why am I searching for that in someone that I already think isn't my person? But reversely, why am I
wasting so much energy?
Wasting so much energy.
Them that they are good for you when you already know they're not good.
It's also just like being slower. Like I think I get so much anxiety in the uncertainty. And when you get to know someone, it's not like you just know them and they're like, all right, I'm going to marry you day one. And I think I do not do well when it's so uncertain, you know? So I have this like, I'm sure subconsciously, I don't even realize it. I probably have this energy that's probably like a lot when really you need to leave space for someone to be attracted to you no matter who you are.
I think
you
might have some good points
there.
I think you may have put the nail on the coffin, and I do think that you may have a bit of a pushy, very energetic energy about you when you're with guys, but like I can't say that I would be a ton different.
Obviously.
But like, yeah, right.
If we had to call this podcast another title, it would be like the anxiously attached women.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But even though, what did they say? They said I was avoidant, that guy.
That is true.
Okay.
But but in a different way. I think when you were like dating Jared, that was like an anxious attach, right? It's like, be with me sort of energy.
So my point here is that I think that being friends with somebody and getting to know them slowly without having the pressure of it being within a romantic relationship was the only way I was able to gain a romantic relationship. Because I don't know that I would have been able to do it just like going date after date and hangout after hangout and just like having to kind of like hold back.
Yes, and that's what I'm saying. Isn't that like significant?
So Lauren, teach us how that happens.
Wait, how what?
You weren't listening.
No, you said a lot of words. Okay, sorry. What teach you how to get past that anxious
how do you go
point?
on date after date after date and like kind of grow a little bit each time without freaking out about making too much progress each time?
Well, do you want Lauren to answer that?
I don't know. Either.
Well, what I was just going to say is like the reason why I'm so proud of myself for going on this weekend with this person is because every time I hang out with someone, like my ex, I learned so much about myself. I learned that I can like fall in love with someone. And then this guy like taught me how I am sort of in that dating stage. You know, when I don't meet someone that's like, you're it, I need to be like okay and comfortable with that. And what's crazy is I am up until like we're together and like physical, you know, like the physical attraction's there. I think I'm just so passionate that I'm like, oh yeah, whatever. Like, let's make out. Like, it's fine. And it's like, I don't know. I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm now going to be more cognizant of that. And it was a great learning lesson. And I'm really glad I went.
Well, you got to also like flip it. Like, what if you were in their shoes and you're just trying to feel out a guy and you're not even sure? And like, if the guy's like, come on, you know, we're having a great time. You know, it's like, oh my God, no. So the way to get past that that point, I think, is
alcohol.
No.
I don't know.
No, I think
No.
I
I'm
think
kidding,
that
I'm
might make
kidding.
it worse.
is definitely don't drink too much, and also always act very uninterested when you leave them. Like, just
I don't.
I
you
know
think that's good
playing the
advice?
game is not good, but the game is do not be interested once you leave them. Don't text them.
I have to agree with Lauren. She's right about that. She really is.
I've never failed. I swear. I've never failed.
I don't know if I necessarily agree. I think you need to show people that you're engaged and interested in some way. And you don't need to say, like, I like you, I'm in love with you, I want to marry you.
Right.
But you can say things like, I really appreciate how passionate you are about this cause. Like, it's very endearing to me. And like by saying things like that, I think you can let someone know you are
100%.
physically attracted. It's like the guy's like, all right, this girl's into me, or whatever, guy, girl, whatever they. But yeah.
Yeah. That's why I think do all of that, say all the words while you're with them, and then leave them thinking about you, but never say anything after and let them make the move.
Okay.
I don't care how old school I sound at that. You guys can judge me, but that's how it works.
That's how it works.
Say like, oh my God,
Lauren.
you're so hot, you're so smart, but as when you're looking in their face, but don't say it over text and don't.
I'm not going to refute that, but what I will say is like, I think a good learning lesson too is like, don't pedestalize people. Like, I think so often when you're single or you've been alone for a while and you get excited by someone you're physically attracted to them.
Yeah.
You're kind of like, oh my God, like, could this be the person? Like, all my friends are married. This is it. I'm done,
Mm-hmm.
And you have to have, one, you have to have patience. Two, you have to realize you are on the same level as that other person.
Yeah.
And don't put that pressure and subconscious energy into that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
I think people get super excited and they don't even know the person already. And I think another lesson I've learned too is like a qualifier for dating isn't, oh, this person's attractive, they like me, so I like them. Like, no. Do you like them?
Yeah.
Like,
That
do
is-
you?
Well,
and I think
that's definitely something that you have a thing with. I've never once been like, do I like them? Like, I just know whether I do or I don't.
you think?
I mean, you've never been like that either, Lauren, right? Have you? Or actually, Lauren has been.
No, but what I'm saying
Lauren
is
totally
like in a
makes herself
day.
obsessed with somebody just because she may feel distance.
That's what I'm saying.
Lauren
I'm saying,
plays the
like,
game because she also is so susceptible to the game.
True. Yeah. Well, that's like really good lessons that you've learned with
Yeah.
just one weekend and also a therapy sessions. That is like really helpful, I think.
I have one more lesson I took
Okay.
away, which was I think I have this need to control things because I was telling you guys that it was like so uncertain, right? So based off certain conversations, I think I made up in my mind, I don't know if this person's my person. I think it is important to follow your gut though, and those are two totally separate things.
Yeah.
But I remember when people talk about like microdosing, which is like taking a little bit of like mushroom during the day or stuff like that, I immediately think, I don't know. I'm such a, I don't want to say prude, but I'm someone who doesn't really do that stuff. Like I dibbled.
Dibbled.
What
Dibbled.
word am I
love that
You dabbled.
I dabbled a little, my college days and whatever. But I'm always like, I don't know if someone like this would want to be with someone like me that kind of would rather stay in and watch a Disney movie, right?
I understand. I completely understand.
And so I formed this judgment, right, around that.
Mm-hmm.
I go home for 4th of July, right?
Yeah.
And I'm hanging with friends. And one of my friends was microdosing. And I said to myself, I was like, okay, well, I have all this judgment about this thing that I've never done. And if I'm going to try it and I'm sleeping at my friend's house and I'm home and I'm around people I love, why not try it here and now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I do it, and it's like, it's so whatever. It's so fine. And I'm like, wow, another learning lesson. Like,
Yeah.
I had built this sort of like, I don't know if this person would like me. I don't know if I would like them. It's not going to work out. Therefore, I'm going to behave this way over something I hadn't even known what it was really like. Does that
Okay,
make
but
sense?
I have a question. There's one thing to do it like every once in a while, but like it's another thing for somebody to do it regularly.
Well, I mean, this could be a whole other podcast, but like, people do it every day and it's fine. It's not like people smoke weed every day and it's fine.
I don't think that would ever be fine for me to be with.
Right.
Yeah.
But also, I didn't know if this person did it every day. Do you guys get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah,
Like, it's
yeah.
like, I think end all be all biggest lesson is like, just go slow and be patient
and
have
don't
fun
like
and
jump
enjoy
to
the anxiety.
conclusions if you hear one
Yes.
thing, because you
Right.
you cannot, even on the first date, let alone within the first 5 minutes of meeting someone, determine if they're your person or not. So eliminate that thought and maybe try everything.
Yeah.
Unless it's love at first sight.
Yes.
Which I do believe in too, which is
Yeah.
why this is all super complicated and hard and it's case by case. And again, I'm not like, I hope I don't come off like I'm preaching to the choir. I'm just sharing with you guys, since I've told you guys about my dating life forever, like I think where I'm sort of at now and what I've been learning lately.
I like it.
Do you know it's gonna
Yeah.
be so exciting when Naz does find her person? That's gonna be
It is.
so fun.
It's been
Not
it's
that
been a
this isn't
long-
fun. I'm just saying that like I'm excited to see it happen.
Yeah.
But
Well,
it's
still-
interesting because
I'm just
What?
still like living for the experiences and lessons and stories. Like I enjoy it.
it's funny because I can point to every man I've been with in my life and tell you exactly what he taught me.
Yeah.
I can literally tell you exactly what.
Do you
they
have a
taught me.
list in your phone, or do you just like, what is it?
No, I mean, the first guy that started Heartbroken Anonymous taught me that I did not love myself. Like, I had
Yeah.
no idea, but I had a flawed view of myself. I thought I was like broken, unlovable, whatever. There's been so many guys in between. Like, my big taught me about like chemistry, which is like something you can't just like make. Like, it's just like there. And also that I like deserve more. I deserve someone that's like going to commit to me. Like my ex literally taught me that like someone is willing to commit to me, right? And that I can coexist with someone and that I am capable of loving. Like I didn't know that I could like do that. I was like, do I even want to be in a relationship or am I just this girl that like preaches from the rooftop that I want to be in one? So I learned I want to be in one. I learned I want to be a mom. He also taught me about like my relationship with my father so much better because he was a father. And then this random guy that I went away with for 2 days taught me all the things I just told you guys.
Yeah. And taught you about microdosing.
Okay,
And now I microdose.
On that note, this is so weird to bring up, but we've talked about like how it actually resonated with a lot of women when we talked about this, like how you can be like happily married and engaged and like think back and reminisce on certain times with other people and like just be able to daydream about it. But like not want it now, but like still look back on it fondly. Lauren, is there somebody, both of you, is there somebody, I just said Lauren because she is in a relationship, that like you would never think that who I would never think that you think of sometimes in this capacity, but like you do? Because I realize who I think of sometimes. It's just so freaking bizarre.
In what capacity?
Like, do you ever like a memory with one person that you reminisce on more often than I would think that you would?
Damn.
A person, like any person, like a random ass guy that like I never think of you thinking of.
The only thing I can think of is the other day I was eating Shake Shack and I had a fond memory of Ace Young.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I have a fond memory of Ace Young too when you eat Shake Shack, even though like I wasn't part of that relationship at all.
That's the only thing.
so funny.
Yeah, I don't look back fondly on a lot of relationships. Like I don't think I think maybe at 2, but everything else is just pure regret.
Oh, Lauren,
I guess
that's
not regret.
true.
We'll put it in Naz terms, lessons.
Yeah, there you go. It's
lessons.
true.
Yeah.
I think the last thing my ex taught me, which I didn't share with you guys, which was a really important lesson for me to learn, is because I think I have a bigger ego than I'd like to admit, is that you don't have to own things. I think I was so scared of letting go. And I think when you leave a relationship, you're like, are they gonna, it's like Olivia Rodrigo song, Happier. Like, I hope you're happy, but not happier than me. And you're just like, someone else is gonna be waking up next to him and he's gonna be everything that I wish he was to me to someone else. And then what I realized was like, him and I shared this like really cool, unique, like dating in a bubble during the pandemic, like magical experience. And like, no one can take that away from him or I.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't need to own him. Like, I don't need to own that relationship. It was what it was. And it's all about letting go and like being happy.
Yeah. I feel like I still semi-struggle with that, but that's something we'll get over.
Wait, you still semi-struggle with what?
Like ownership. Like you want to be the most special person they've ever been with. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, I mean, that's something you can't just shut off, but
That's
definitely
ego.
time.
And it's
it's ego.
So ego's so
Oh, it's
hard.
so hard. It's the
It's
toughest
so
thing to deal
hard.
with. Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm always like, did I mean anything to them? Like, are they eating Shake Shack thinking of me? You know what I mean? Is this song going to come on in Walmart and they're going to be like, Naz Perez was in my life? Like, we always want to know, did we make an impact? What did we do? And I think we do. But also it's like, why do we care about that?
But like,
so
what
much?
is it? Why does it change your life at all if
Right,
they're not thinking about you
exactly.
anymore? Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, so basically,
So many lessons.
So many lessons. Very good. This episode is called Lessons.
I have called compression socks.
Compression socks.
It's too bad.
Wait.
It's too bad no one's going to get to this part of the podcast because they left during our 15-minute sock monologue.
So sorry. I hope you got through, guys. Wait. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, cool. Sorry.
I say yeah as you're
I know it's like
literally
I'm
right
next to you. You go, yeah. Okay. I have one last thing that we can end on that isn't about lessons or compression socks.
Okay.
It's pretty stupid.
Okay, I love that.
When do you guys go to the gas station to fill up your tank?
Definitely not at night.
No.
Lauren means like when it's on E.
Like when it's on E.
That's like when someone asked Demi Lovato, what's your favorite dish? As in like favorite food. And she goes, a mug. Because you can hold it with the handle.
What? Like,
No, like on E or a quarter tank or
I do
like.
it as soon as the light goes on, I guess.
Yeah, my Jeep says fuel low, and that's when I head there.
Oh, okay.
But Lauren waits till she's like way below E.
Lauren, why do you? I'm so like.
She's just
Why
like
do you risk
like a
your?
risk taker?
Why do
Well,
you risk your life in that way? I'm so
Some
confused.
people fill it at like half a tank and they're never below half a tank or a quarter. So I wanted to know if you guys are one of those people. I thought maybe
course
Ashley
not.
was. I don't know.
half a tanker? I'm not trying to go to the gas station.
I have this weird OCD thing where I need everything to like be used because then I just think it's old and sitting there. So if I went at half a tank, I would think that like there's old gas
there's
in there that
old
needs to be
fuel.
used. I feel that way with the water in my Keurig. I'm like, I can't half fill this. It needs to go to the bottom and then I need to put new water in.
Okay. I
Does
respect
that make sense?
No, that's actually, I understand that. And if you have a glass of water, you bring it to bed, you're not going to drink that same glass
days later.
like the next night. That's
Ew,
old water.
no.
But nothing happened to it.
Old water.
I don't know, guys. One time I was
All
like very
water is old and recycled, by the way. Like
I
the
don't-
water that we're drinking was around when dinosaurs were around.
You guys, one time I like had a glass of water sitting by my bed for a couple of days, or it was like a water bottle, and it was sitting by my bed for like maybe 2 weeks. Like we like went on a trip or something, and I came back and I drank it. I drank from it after, and it tasted really bad.
Wait, was it sitting in the sun? Because that if it's been sitting in the sun and it's warm, I won't have it.
Yeah, the
I don't think that. I don't
The
think
plastic
it
in
was
the
case
sun
this.
is not good.
No, of course not.
This is funny that you think like the gas is old in the car, but I think of that with my bank account, kind of like.
Wait, what?
I don't know.
Like the
I
money's
think,
aging?
like as the numbers go down, I'm thinking, oh, I'm spending that money I made last year when it gets to a certain number, and it's old money. Yeah,
Wait,
like
that is the weirdest thing you've ever shared on the podcast.
I know, but I
that's
think
so
about it
funny.
it's kind of like how we think about the weekdays. Like, is it in a circle? Is it in a line in your head? Like, how do you think about it? Do you think of the days of the week in a circle or an oval or whatever?
I think of them in the calendar form.
I think of them.
Weird.
I don't. I think Sunday's the last day of the week, not the first.
But do you think of it like in a straight line, or how do you think of it? Because I think of it in an oval.
I think of it in a straight line.
I think of it in a straight line too.
Whoa. Warren, maybe you're a genius.
Well, actually, maybe I think of it in I think of it in a straight line, but then how do you think of the year? Because I think of the year in a circle. Why in an oval?
I think of the year as like 12 boxes.
Oh, really?
Like on your iPhone.
Oh, I think of it like a clock, and you like
A perfect circle?
at the top
think of it as
at
an
the top
oval
of the
or
circle. No, at the top of the circle is summer. At the bottom of the circle is winter.
You psychopath. Summer's at the bottom, Ashley.
What?
way,
Summer's in
really?
the middle. You guys are so weird.
That's so funny.
What do you mean? It's spring, summer, fall, winter.
I think, if you guys aren't listening.
It's because you guys grew up in a winter state, so you think winter's at the top,
No,
right?
I don't. I think summer's at the top.
How does
I
that
think
make
it's
any
because
sense,
that's-
Ashley? How does that make any sense?
I don't know. To me, that's like the start of like the fresh life.
No, either spring or winter is the first.
Well,
There's
I'm
no
sorry.
Summer's
This is
in
just
the
how
middle.
I think about it.
That's so weird. That's so
Okay,
weird.
well, hey, this is interesting. And it should be a visual podcast so I can show you guys like on a PowerPoint or with a stylus.
Bob Ross
No,
canvas.
One of those overhead projectors
Yeah.
from elementary school.
Yeah. I just know Dad thinks of everything in a perfect like list. Like a list. Like
That's so
December,
funny.
January, whatever. Well, that's very interesting, guys. I love this.
I love this. We need to do that. We need to ask how we think of other things.
I know. It just proves that we're
Abstract
all
concepts.
like, and you come up with this in like preschool and it doesn't change.
That's so crazy. That's
Yeah.
so weird.
Good ramble,
Wow.
guys.
Good ramble. All right.
All
I
right,
love you all.
Thank you so much for
Subscribe.
listening.
Follow us. Bye.
Bye.
If you want to be the most interesting person at the cocktail party, well, hop on over and listen to the Brain Candy podcast.
Our award-winning content will have you laughing while you're learning.
We read all the best articles, books, and studies and keep up with new TV shows, documentaries, and pop culture. And then we cram it all into 2 shows a week.
Conspiracy theories, cannibal rabbits, unsolved mysteries, the history of the Walkman. There's something for everyone.
The Brain Candy podcast. Find our link in the show notes.
Or simply search for the Brain Candy Podcast on your podcast app.
I don't get it.
Podcast.